You know what I'm saying? Like a vacuum cleaner. Like a vacuum you go through to go to another universe. What's up? It's like people are being put into a vacuum. That's what I was telling people. Innocent people. You see little babies still getting killed. Little girl got killed on the train. Innocent girl, 14-year-old girl. One man killed the nigga and said he didn't know why he did it. He said, I don't know. That's like the fourth one. That said, I can't remember what's going on. All you hear, if you 2 days straight and look at the news, then you'll understand what I've been talking about. And you see all the killings. You know what I'm saying? Apex Solar One. Planet cleanup, man. Don't be a part of the planet cleanup. One of the people. It's like dangerous now for your children to just go ride the subway in New York City. A lot of places. Just getting on the subway now, the crime is up 41% under the subway. Stabbings, killing, and this is your child or somebody that's doing, got to go to work. Right. So why are they being attacked? And it's like I said, because they got work contracts. They're young. They're going to be working like that for the rest of their life. And like I said, at the end of the day, when God, if there's a God, he said, let me see your worksheet and let me see your time you spent on me. All you're going to do.
Was just for you.
Who?
Venus Mother on the 6th floor.
Miss Gloria, yeah. She be making me cakes and shit, all kinds of shit. Still be sending me stuff like I'm a little kid. But yeah, it's the cleanup is here, man. I'm telling you, man. Yeah, it's the earth is replenishing for the solar children, for us. It's making room. In other words, electricity outlets is all being burnt out. That's why you're seeing so much burnt out. A lot of solar flares are hitting the planet. And you might go someplace, right, and see maybe like this little 20 miles of just land, but they put about 2,000 or 3,000 satellites on there. Just all satellites, but there's nothing around it. They had to do that because some of those satellites, and they built those all around the planet to absorb the solar flares that's coming in, because the solar flares, if they come in, it's like, think of a sponge and you put it underneath. It's going to hold some of the water. The water ain't going to go all the way through right away, but it's going to absorb some of it. If not, the flood will be quicker. So if not, the solar flare thing we're going through now will kill them even faster. It's killing white people right now, the sun. And that's what I always teach. Somebody asks you what's your race, and my race is the one that's compatible with the sun. So you don't have to say black, white, blue, or green, and that answers the question. I'm sun compatible. I'm a sun compatible being, meaning I got enough carbon in my body like the sun got in it to withstand this planet, not melanin. That was a trick. So right now, a lot of the earth is on fire. A lot of parks have been burning for like 5 and 6 years. Solar fly, yeah. So what's happening is we're preparing now for solar energy. So they introduced that around 10 years ago. Oh, you can go solar now. Everybody buying solar panels on their house. That knocks out what? Electricity. You don't need electricity when you're dealing with solar energy. And that's what I'm saying. So what you're seeing right now is a lot of computers are being what you call crashed and all that. They're crashing. Computers are crashing. A lot of electrical outlets all around the world is going down. Why? Because the solar energy is knocking out. Solar is fourth dimension. And that's what I was telling you. That's equatricity. So equatricity is knocking out electricity. Equatricity is fourth dimension. That's qua, everything four. I'm a fourth dimensional being. So it's time for fourth dimensional beings to leave the third dimensional realm. So the solar flares and everything is what's burning everything out. And they're going to have to go solar on the planet. You're going to have to go solar. Yeah, it's going to be no other way for you to go but solar on this planet, as we knock out all electric sockets, all electric outlets and all that. You're going to even see your TV start acting up a little bit funny, even if you're using an antenna or even if you're not. That's why a lot of the people was getting those, what's the name of that box you can go get all the channels? Like niggas be hooking up in niggas' house. Did you get the stick? Yeah, why you think that was interfered so much? You get a fire stick for 2 months, you got to go read. Electric circuits was being burnt out, man. But if you're running your shit on solar, you're not having those problems. What you got in your body, or human plex or solar plex? All right, what kind of system you live under? A solar system or a human system? Mind, body, spirit, or mind, body, soul? The devil want to steal your soul, or he want to steal your spirit? Soul. We were soul people. We went to music back in the days. Your mother, your grandmother, did she listen to Spirit Train, or did she go see Don Cornelius on what? Soul Train. Who introduced us to this spirit? When did we get to be spiritual people? When all from black people, rock, planet rock, let your soul lead the way. Even Elijah Muhammad said we're the soul controllers of the universe. So that solar energy is coming back to reclaim the earth. And I, Apex Solar 1, I hold the staff of Mercury, and I'm going to guide y'all in and teach y'all, what it's supposed to be. And the last thing I'm going to tell y'all is stop spending time being mad at the devil when the devil is down with us. He's doing his job, and he's doing his job well. So, you understand? This earth can't run without negativity. If you pull negativity out of this planet right now and leave it all positive, it won't work. The balance will go. So how you going to not accommodate negativity? So at some point, the devil is going to be accommodated because you can't test your soul or test how strong you is unless you go through the devil, unless you do devilish shit and you say, I'm tired of it. I walked through all that devil shit. How do you know you're good unless you were bad? How do you look at somebody and say, oh, he's dressed nice, unless you understand what not being dressed nice look like? You understand what I'm saying? So we get taught a lot of things that's actually backwards. So that's why Soul Future is anti-education. It's anti-smart people. Because education leads you to a PhD. Whatever PhD you got, you hold it up. Like I said, look up the college that issued you that PhD, and then look up who wrote the curriculum for that college, and then I'll show you that you're a black man with a European concept now in your head. Because nobody from Africa or black people did not write the college curriculums here that they set in educational systems. So when I say something outside of the educational system, people are going to label you crazy, because what you're saying is, he's saying, Master didn't teach us that. How did you know that on your own? How did you think on your own outside of school? You understand what I'm saying? If a teacher didn't tell you 1 + 1, how did you know 1 + 1? And that's the first thing our parents do, something they love so much. By the time you're 6, she's pushing you off into a classroom with a teacher she never even met, really. One time on a parents-teacher conference, maybe, one time, and this lady got a little BA, and now she's going to be in control of your child, and you just raised your child for the first 6 years in his or her life. And after that first day of school, when you ask that child, and you stand your mother there and the teacher there, and you ask that child, who's your teacher? They're going to point to the teacher, not the mother. And that's already ripping the child away from thinking it's somebody other than my parents or my teachers. So that gets you into the education. You think education is supposed to teach you. It only teaches you and learns you enough to go into a system so you can work for them and pay taxes and work for 30 years and retire. That's what education is for. So when y'all understand that Lucifer is and God don't have no problems with each other. They don't have any. You the one that had the problem with Lucifer. He's still a light bearer. Jesus tells you he's a light bearer. The devil is a light bearer. If the devil himself could challenge God in heaven, then how the hell you think we can deal with him? If he was enough to challenge God, win or lose, he must be on a God's level. You cannot, you understand? So the devil is a God. What we're looking for is not God. God was made up by the devil, by the Anunnaki, and by even our own people who was in control of the planet, the almond race, however you want to call them. They the ones made up this God concept and stopped teaching you about energy and solar deity. All you got to do is follow deity, energy. Just be in life and know that something is great, is greater. Whether it's an energy, you don't got to put a face with it, but you can't walk through this life or move through this world without some kind of energy. And since we're under a solar system, I would know that the soul energy, the controlling energy on this planet will be solar energy. So get in touch with your solar self, and all the answers will come right through the light, right through you thinking. Your sensory perception is something that we had, 5 highest senses: telepathy, clairvoyance, telekinesis, and intuition. Telepathy is mind-to-mind reading. They're trying to replace that with telephone. That's where they get telephones. Everything technology does for you is stolen from what you were actually, the being you actually were, your higher sensory perceptions. America didn't even start traveling to a certain year. They didn't even introduce locomotives. So they didn't understand communicating. So what they first had was, before text messages, before hit me on the gram, you had a telegram, where in the Western Union still carries a telegram. And then that gave you a mind. That was still us with telepathy. So you got to send a message to somebody. You got to now go by this new technology we got. But that's really just telepathy. Then they have futuristic programs. They'll tell you about things. They can see into the future. That's your intuition, where you have that intuition to just know something's going to happen. Clairvoyance, where you can see into another dimension. That's the same thing. Everything we did rhythmatically with our telekinesis, moving things toward us, and things like that, how we, built the pyramids with sound vibration, with a technology, is just on phones now. And remember, as technology rises, it's going to replace you. It replaces the mortal, the human being. Every time there's a new technology, it puts something out of business. 25 years ago, 30 years ago, there was so many post office where you can go mail a letter. Once text messaging came in, where's the post offices now? You understand what I'm saying? There used to be Blockbuster. Once Redbox came in, where is that? Now you got cell phones, everything downloaded. No libraries, no call for libraries. All the books is on your phone. So what's going to happen when robots are introduced? See, when we was young, they tricked us. They had a little robot called Alfie. He could bring you an apple. They was showing you that there. Then they show you iRobot, where Will was against bringing robots into every home. Now they're actually doing that. And robots, if they're using technology or elements to build robots, there's already a certain amount of alignment in elements already. Elements teach us. That's the whole way of the world, the whole thing of science. You can't know nothing without going through an elemental force. Knowing your elements, knowing your periodic table and things like that. Elements are automatically what you are in your DNA. Everything is locked in there. Why you think you got to think sometime and then the answer come out? Where the hell did it come from? It was already in you. So if you're building robots and you're using iron, copper, there's already a certain amount of intelligence in this element already. So it's going to continue to advance on its own as a child. It's going to grow and grow and grow and keep getting curious and more curious without nobody doing nothing to that child. As you grow, you get more curious. It's a natural form of life. And another thing I'm going to drop on the guards is we all talk about natural foods and all that. I'm going to take you from simple thoughts that we on. Natural foods, we got to do this. No, we need solar food. You don't need food, you need solar energy. And I'm going to explain that. If everything here is nature and it's natural, and I'm a celestial being, and I can't move 42,000 feet, 42,000 miles off the earth, or I can't go to the moon or go too high up without needing an oxygen mask because oxygen is depleted, then there is no natiru, there is no nature where I'm from. Nature was set for a planet, to guide a planet, trees and all that, for oxygen, for things to be in the air, for you to have hydrogen that comes from water, for things that's in your air. That's natural for here. Once we get there and you're in your God state, if you're a super person and you're beyond nature, what they call you, you're supernatural. So you stay natural. We need something super for our body. You understand what I'm saying? Not just nature foods, because they have destroyed the food on this planet, because they've destroyed the earth. They've destroyed. So everything we think we're getting that's fresh is still no good going into our body. Natural food. So I'm going to step people up from natural foods to energetic foods. What is energetic foods? Meditation, breathing, getting into your own body. You have beings called breatharians that live on this earth right now that don't eat. They breathe. That's all they do. Breathe, breathe. They feed their body the metallic universe, the celestial universe. Think about it. If we from there, you think they was eating in heaven? Think it was food? Think it was meals? It's different beings caused for different ways that they are. You're here natural under this nature system, so you want natural food. I am actually not a natural person. I'm a supernatural person. I'm a phenomenon. You know what I'm saying? So when they say metaphysics, they're saying meta meaning beyond. Physics mean beyond the physical. If I'm beyond physical, then I'm beyond natural things. Or else I wouldn't need an oxygen mask 42,000 miles off the earth. Why would I need an oxygen mask? Because there's no more oxygen here. So I must be from a place that's non-oxidized. You understand what I'm saying? Where I wasn't, I was in my gills. But we are fish when we come through that 9-month like a caterpillar to a butterfly. That's amazing to me still, how you can see a caterpillar and then you can see a butterfly. Well, look at pregnancy. If you got to watch a woman's pregnancy, you'll see a seed, you'll see a tadpole, you'll see different manifestations on through that 9 months. You understand what I'm saying? So we come from the water first. That's why as you, what has the verse for your mother to have you? Water. So that's when you was in your gill state. That's when we had gills, and that's when we were the aquamen instead of the supermen. So the supermen were the celestial us, the guides of the universe. And then the beings that we put in the water to rule the water were water beings. And they stole that and said, you got a aquaman. And who is he? King of the sea, and all of that kind of stuff. Superman was just Lord of the sky. And that would be like the two brothers of Egypt, or Anunnaki, Enki, and Lil. One was the Lord of the land, and that's why you got to pay taxes, and that's why they call him a landlord that you got to pay your rent to. And one was the Lord of the sky. He governed over the Lord of the land. And that story will continue. So what I'm going to get people into, they're all into this Dr. Sebi thing, and which is great, and natural foods. Once you meditate and you get to that fourth dimensional soul future mindset where you're thinking on your own, you're going to eat less is what I'm telling you. You're going to be too busy using energy. And you're going to realize, and you do it now, sometimes you go a whole day until you wait. Eating is just a thought. Once you cleanse your body out and keep cleansing your body out and it stops and you got enough water in, you're ready to use energy, you just fill your body back up with solar energy. Go under the sun more and it'll stop you from having to eat. And you breathe in and breathe out thoughts. And that'd be it. Then the most you would have to do is eat a little piece of bread here and there. I mean, that's when your boy Christ said, man should not live by bread alone. Stuff like that, because when you was in your right mind, you were just eating bread. You didn't need, too much food. So, how you feel, D? I'm here to explain it all. I give examples because I'm the examplist. I explain what God didn't explain. Because you understand, I answer for God because your God has failed. He's failed. Look at, how can I cut on the news and see all of this corruption? Your God is in jail. All these internet gangsters that was God bodies and all that ended up with pedophile cases, all locked up. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I didn't join none of these things. I don't even put my face out too much. A lot of times you don't even see me. So I'm gonna change the diet from an actual food diet to an energetic diet. So we're gonna have to get our energy up. And once we get our energy up, we start moving. And remember, I'm gonna take y'all to a place where y'all don't understand. We used to fly. We once flew. We once had the we once had everything together in us. Let's put it like that, because that'd be a whole nother teaching. Where we flew. When Superman flies, what's the first thing he do? He balls his fist and he puts his hand up, right? Just like that, because that's toning the power. Remember a black power movement that so-called black people went through, where we used the word power, but when we said power, we put our fists up and did like this in the air, black power. That was a vibration that we already did. I think of Superman, how he take off. And we was already doing that because he got it from us. We didn't even know why we would go black power and put our hand up. That's how we took flight. We actually took flight. If Jesus walked water, you know what I'm saying, they stole that. That's no more than he understood the science of levitation. He knew how to make the load in his body, the molecules in his body so light. And if you go to Chinese practice, ancient Chinese practice, you'll see, if you ever used to watch Kung Fu, one of their techniques is you put a strip of paper out, and as you get nice, if you walk that paper without ripping it, imagine I put a roll of toilet paper, and you get nice enough to be so light on your feet that you can walk toilet paper without ripping it. That's just a science that they understood how to do. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm going to be teaching people is, God is made up. It's made up by beings who is in control. If you want the ultimate power, all you have to do is search for energy. And the ultimate energy of this planet is solar energy, period. No other energy. Everything feeds off the solistic you, the solar you. So we used to fly, and that might be hard for people to understand, but I'm gonna take you back to birds, understanding birds, because before text messages, birds were the first messengers. Pigeons are still being used to send messages. I'm talking about before, remember they were putting notes in a bottle. They were putting notes in a bottle and throwing it out to sea and hoping somebody get it. Now you can text. You understand? Technology took the place of our higher sensory perceptions. These people didn't even start traveling, man. And these motherfuckers didn't even have rubber until like the late 30s, I think. It's a lot of things that people don't know how primitive this planet is, but primitive don't mean bad. Prime means good. So when you hear things about prime evil, you're talking about the first type of evil. When you go to, you understand what I'm saying? When you go to eat a steak, you want the prime part of the steak. That's the best part. You understand what I'm saying? So when you're dealing with prime evil, just know that they exploited the Jurassic us. That's us. That dinosaur, that's us. That's why they call Godzilla God. And they call ape king, King Kong. And Godzilla will always verse King Kong. Our genetics will always verse their genetic. We are genetically superior. You don't have to talk about that no more. Physicists will tell you that. All we have to do is just say, I'm sun compatible. I don't need a suntan parlor. The sun don't give me cancer. The sun don't hurt me. I belong here. And I don't know who black people are. I'm tan. I come from a tan stroke. I come from a tan place. I don't know what black is. And we have to denounce black because black ain't going to get you nowhere because black people are fucking ignorant. Black people are the dumbest race on the fucking planet right now, if you want to technically put it like that about black people. Trayvon Martin was a psyops. That was a throw-off. God bless him. It was a setup to anger black people. To you know, the Black Lives Matter is owned by a European, a pedophile. You understand what I'm saying? Some of the black people that got the donations from that, they all got cases right now of fraud. All that Black Lives Matter is ran and paid for by Europeans or Jewish people, just like the NAACP. How the hell could an organization for black people be founded by somebody white? And we accept this. You understand? So if they keep showing you roots, of course you're going to come outside mad. If they keep killing your children, of course you're going to say, what happened to Trayvon Martin? This happened way back in the day, if you're old enough, with a girl called Tawana Brawley, another psyops, a setup that they had set up and said white people raped her. The girl later on said it was a lie, but it infuriated black people to start movements to keep you in this down state of, you owe us something, black, I want retribution, and you know, it's time for y'all to pay us back, and that keeps you begging. It's like you got these internet beggars that want views and they want money from the internet. If you got the right God, you go on your channel with money already. You're already doing your thing. You got to ask the people for money. Why? Because you know, God sent you. You got this so-called word. Why didn't you do that to make money? Why you got to ask the people you're teaching for money and then stop the show and say, well, cash at me. I don't see the views. I ain't going to give this information out like the information is yours. The information don't belong to you. That's because these are internet gangsters and broke internet people and it's a come up on the internet to come up here and beg for money, man. Nobody has to give me nothing. I came with my own. I got the right God, so I don't need to ask nobody for no money because solar energy guides me to the right moves. I make the right moves and I make the right money. Ain't nobody fucking with me out here, man. These dudes can't share what I share. They can't teach what I teach, man. They wouldn't survive with me. So I don't waste time debating. I just lead you to what I leave you to, and tell my people in the words that I always tell my people. 4 words. Welcome to Soul Future.